All right, hi everybody. Is Bonkai 922. Um, yeah, yeah. A couple of I should say yesterday. Well, actually, 2 days ago. Saturday. Yeah. Some dickwad decided to do something really stupid, which I already vented on in the J room. So let some dogs. Let's leave sleeping dogs lie. But yeah, this is gonna be Attack on Titan chapter review. Now, this one was called Pain. Wow, this chapter. Oh, halfway through. Got some pretty severe stuff going on. Now, I know the general conception when it concerns this manga. I know a lot of people who are like, they have mixed reactions with recent, some people are just saying, oh, there's not enough action here and there. Going to give this a 4. We're not going to go too crazy. I was going to get a 4.5, but I figured to myself, you know, truth be told, the only really interesting thing in this is towards the end and slightly the beginning. Now, in the beginning of the chapter, we have Erwin. He's talking to Pyxis about like general conception, his flashback. It's a flashback, pretty much, or a general flashback of when Erwin found out the truth behind the walls and everything. And basically, you don't want to get too much in details with this, but he basically said his father told him what not he could not say, because his father was his teacher apparently too, that he could not say in the classroom, which was that about the whole secret about the Titans being in the walls, and supposedly humans turning into Titans. And it's just this conversation that you know Pixis is having with Erwin, as Erwin's telling him his childhood, and basically the plan to overthrow the government. Now, even though this concept has been used like a beaten drum, like a beaten old drum, continuously in anime and manga, this one was different. At least I found it different. Because you got to remember, they can't just go in there and start a revolution against the king. King basically created this small window of peace for everyone. And to go in there and destroy that, they're not actually going to just accept, you know, the Servant Corps. So that's basically what was told in the beginning of this chapter, with Erwin and Pyxis, and saying that they will eventually, you know, will they won't follow you, pretty much. And apparently, what his father explaining this, you know, give or take, was that and he explained how people's memories were altered. People who escaped to the walls had their memories altered so the king could control them better. And that he basically brings up that something along the lines, my father's theory became fact to me. I made it my life's mission to prove his hypothesis. Humans turn to Titans, Titans turn to walls in this world full. No, good. That's my brother. I'm not dealing with that. Anyway, that's basically what was stated um, in this part. Now, this was kind of interesting. That that were getting this information. And then he brings up the fact of Eren and Annie and all these other things that came into about Eren controlling the Titans. And what was interesting that I liked, more interesting, is the way the Central Command, the government, was looking at Erwin. He looked at them and he realized these people, they don't care about humanity. They care about their lands. They care about their nobility. And that's what intrigued me for this chapter. That part. You know, and you could say, yeah, but it's been used though before. Yeah, but not like this. Remember, other government scenarios where the government is corrupt, like, for example, Full Alchemist, that dealt with something else. It wasn't more about keeping their, well, kind of about it. But here, it like they didn't care about humanity. They just say like really dark shit. So it was a big eye opener when you found out about it. So there were a few things in this chapter that were pretty interesting, and that's when I was intrigued. Now the other part of the chapter was okay, Hanji and Levi torturing this guy. That was pretty sick. Hanji, man, she's like, the part that got me was when she said she had this device, and I was like, oh, what's that for? And she said testicle. I was like, oh shit. And then he spilled his guts pretty much. And they torture him pretty well. And he's like, he thinks like he's got the guy's name, I believe, what was his name? Forgot the guy's name. And there's also another scene with Eren and the guys. And it was this funny part with Armin. I don't know why Asayama did that. Yeah, Armin's face, it looked like a troll face. Thought that was insane. But, they're basically pondering about what they're doing and how this is evil now. We're not fighting against Titans, we're fighting against humans. It is really a very complex situation that is developing. And the guy they're torturing, pretty much, I believe it was, what was this guy's name? Sans, that's the name, Sans. So they're torturing this guy Sans. They rip out his fingernails and shit. And Sans believes that what he did was for peace, was for in the walls, protecting people, protecting the peace. And he did some fucked up shit. He burning people, killing people, all pretty dark stuff. People who tried to escape, to people who made technologies and stuff, like guns. He was even there when they killed Astoria's mother. So he got blood on his hands. And basically they're wondering who the Reyes family is. And he basically saying that he's not going to tell them, and he started ripping out his teeth and all this stuff. And he basically finished off by saying, with this my blood-stained life. And the funny thing was, they already gotten this information to a certain extent. It was like, wow, that threw me off. I forgot the guy's name, but he's obviously, and Sans thought he was with him. He's like, no, you could get rid of that guy. He didn't care at all. So this was pretty diabolical. And until like the very end of this chapter, that's when we get Taji, and it's just like, what testicle? And then just before she says testicle, he says, okay, the race, family is. So pretty much, he didn't want to have to, No, no. And when that happens, we then turn to the very end of the chapter, which is pretty much, he was suffering Sans, and Hanji's basically saying, "I feel bad for you. I feel she felt pity for him." And the guy's name that they had the other deal with was Ralph. And he's like saying, "I don't care about him. He made his own decision." And then that's when they come in, and then Hanji's ready to torture him. And she says, "Will we torture you to death, just like you asked?" I don't know. So which do you need? Which do you not need? The left or right testicle? And then he basically says the Rice family is the true royal bloodline. So, and then we go back to Erwin, and he says, "It seems my bet has paid off to Pyxis. We can replace the king without having to resort to killing. We have to enthrone Historia Rice as the queen." That was a big surprise. I was like, oh. But then again, I could see that happening because she is, like they said in the chapter. Now, like I said, overall, 4 out of 5 for this one. I just like the fact that we got some answers. We got some clerical things going on here. We now know a lot of things that we didn't know before. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the whole thing within the beginning, I thought that was good. I thought the flashback was pretty good, and we found out we kind of already knew this stuff, but it's good to know it's there, you know. And after that, we had that part, but the torturing was pretty awesome. That was, oh man, that was crazy. But it just goes to show you how screwed up this world is. I mean, in some way, kind of got this all the time in a comic Kiru. You had a feeling this was going to happen in Attack on Titan. So it goes to show that in order to write everything, they're going to need to have the king step down. They're going to have someone else be in the position, which I assume is going to be Historia. So like I said, 4 out of 5, pretty good. I like the whole concept that was done in this chapter. A lot of people want to, oh, action, yeah. And a lot of people are bored with it. And a lot of people are saying it's boring. But this is the step in the right direction. The previous chapters, I would say, yes, those were kind of But here, no, this was a good chapter. But yeah, that's pretty much the story. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think they can do this plan? It's more important. Can they do it? Can they get Historia to be the queen? That is, wow, what a plan. It's just crazy. And like I said, regarding the whole altering memories, that obviously they did that to make sure no one would know the truth, because if they did, then cat's out of the bag, and they were protecting this piece that is just to be honest, very fragile. It's just like a bird in a cage. You telling the bird, oh, the cage isn't really there, or the mouse or whatever, and it's really there. And they're protecting this piece by enclosing everyone in these walls, which they don't realize that was created by underhanded means. But yeah, that's the story, people. Bankai 922. Next month should be interesting. Let's see if they can pull this off, this plan. But man, Hanji, man, she's no joke. She is, damn. She's probably more dastardly than Mikasa. I mean, Yeah, she was enjoying torturing. That was fucked up. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. After this, probably do Maggie and we'll rewatch Melbourne again. Do that review. I'm Bon Kai 922. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.